Imagine being in a room where the whole world is glued to the TV. The game is on, the crowd is roaring, the tension is palpable, and everyone's emotions are swinging like a pendulum with every play. But then there's you. You're sitting in the middle of it all and you feel nothing. In a world where millions of people plan their weekends around kickoff, where grown men paint their faces and entire economies rise and fall based on a ball bouncing, you're just there observing the spectacle, but not really a part of it. Why? Why are you so indifferent when everyone around you seems to be consumed by the game? It's not because you're trying to be difficult. It's not because you weren't exposed to it. It's because you simply don't feel the emotional pull that others do. Most people might assume you're antisocial or contrarian. They might think you just don't understand the rules or the magic of the game. But here's the truth. You're not missing something. You've simply recognized something that most fans haven't even thought to question. So let's explore the psychology behind why some people don't obsess over sports and what that says about how they engage with the world. Let's start by talking about tribalism. Sports fandom at its core is tribal. It's us versus them, your team against their team, your colors, your identity, your history against theirs. It's primal, and it taps into something ancient in all of us. Belonging to a group once meant protection, community, and survival.
Being cast out meant danger, even death. Think about it. When your team wins, your brain releases dopamine and testosterone, chemicals that make you feel good, that reinforce your bond to your team. Studies show that sports fans experience hormonal shifts after wins and losses, much like our ancestors felt after a successful hunt or victory in battle. It's powerful, it's emotional, it's survival wiring at work. But here's where it gets interesting. People who don't get caught up in the thrill of the game, their brains aren't broken. They don't lack the tribal instinct. They've just developed a higher threshold for what triggers that instinct. For them, loyalty based on geography or team colors feels arbitrary. They're not rejecting connection. They're seeking it somewhere else, in places where shared ideas, values, and creations are the foundation of their bonds, not just a team's performance on a field. For these people, their brain simply says, "This isn't my tribe. The signal doesn't land here." It's a conscious choice for a different kind of belonging, one that doesn't reset every season. They choose communities built around shared values, ideas, and meaning, not the ever-changing fate of a sports team. Now, let's dive into something more practical: cognitive real estate. Your brain has a limited capacity for emotional investment and attention. When you follow a sport, you're not just a casual observer. You need to memorize players, their stats, their histories, the rivalries, the strategies. You have to track standings, follow news, and remember past moments. It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. It takes up mental bandwidth. Now, people who don't obsess over sports have simply allocated that bandwidth elsewhere. They filled that mental space with something else. Maybe it's music, maybe it's learning new skills, maybe it's working on personal projects, or perhaps they're deeply invested in creative or intellectual pursuits that make them come alive.
It's not that they can't follow a sport. It's that their brain has constructed its own arena for a different pursuit. And the stadium? It's full. There's no room for another obsession. They've made a calculated choice, consciously or not, about where their mental energy is best spent. They've looked at the return on investment. They ask themselves, do I want to memorize batting averages and statistics that I can't control? Or do I want to invest my energy into something I can shape and build? The decision is clear. They choose to focus on what's productive, constructive, and within their control. Let's talk about mirror neurons for a moment. Mirror neurons are the brain cells that fire when we watch someone else perform an action. It's why when you see someone get hurt, you flinch. It's why watching a quarterback throw a perfect spiral or a soccer player score a goal can get your heart racing, as though you were the one performing the action. This is the neurological foundation of sports obsession. You're not just watching the game. On some level, you're participating. Your brain feels the rush of victory, the defeat, the tension, the drama. But here's the thing. Mirror neurons require identification. To feel emotionally connected to a player, you have to see yourself in them. You have to feel that their victory is yours, that their loss reflects a piece of you. For many people who don't obsess over sports, their mirror neurons simply fire for different heroes. Maybe it's watching a musician perform a complicated piece. Maybe it's seeing an artist create something beautiful, or a craftsman build something with their hands. Their mirror neurons are still working, but they're firing for different narratives. It's not that they can't feel that emotional rush, it's that they've chosen to invest their emotional energy in different stories. They don't need a pre-packaged narrative handed to them by a sport. They're more interested in creating their own narratives, building their own worlds, and writing their own stories. One of the key psychological distinctions between sports fans and non-sports people lies in the narrative structure. Sports offer a pre-packaged story. The stakes are already set, the heroes and villains are assigned. All you have to do is show up and watch it unfold. For people who don't follow sports, this is passive consumption. The drama is handed to you. The outcome is decided. It's entertaining, yes, but it doesn't require any real effort or participation from the viewer. For those who don't get swept up in sports, however, the story they're most interested in isn't the one unfolding on a field. It's their own story. The hours that others spend watching a game, they spend building something. They invest in their own projects, their own skills, and their own long-term goals. They don't need to see how someone else's story ends. They're busy creating their own plot twists. They're inventing the game, not just watching someone else play it. Let's address the social cost. Sports are social currency. They're the default conversation starter, the shared bond in offices, at barbecues, and in bars. It's a universal handshake. If you don't know the score or the latest play, there's a moment of awkwardness. You're an outsider in a conversation everyone else seems to know how to navigate. But here's the twist. People who don't follow sports have figured out how to navigate this. Some fake it, nodding along and hoping no one asks them too many questions. Others redirect the conversation to something else they're passionate about. And some have simply accepted that certain social circles will remain close to them. They don't see it as a loss. They see it as a choice. What they've discovered is this. The relationships that don't rely on sports as a bonding tool are often deeper. When you can't fall back on the game, you have to find other common ground. You have to learn what someone really thinks, what they care about, what drives them. Those conversations don't just skim the surface. They go deeper, faster. And for these non-sports people, those relationships are the ones that matter. Think about the escape sports provide. For many, it's a way to step outside the pressure of their own life for a while. It's a meditative release, an emotional pressure valve. For some, it's healthy. For others, it's necessary. But people who don't follow sports have found other ways to escape. They've created their own rituals, their own paths to presence. It could be a hobby, a project, or a creative endeavor. When they're fully absorbed in something they're building, time disappears. They don't need to follow a game to feel connected to the world. They're busy shaping it. People who don't obsess over sports aren't deficient. They're not antisocial. They're simply choosing to participate in life differently. They've opted out of one kind of tribal structure and created their own. They allocate their cognitive resources to things that matter to them. They're not just watching a game unfold, they're building their own. Their silence during the game isn't emptiness, it's the hum of a different engine. It's the sound of someone creating rather than consuming. So, next time you meet someone who doesn't care about sports, remember, they're not missing out. They're just making a different kind of investment in life. How do you feel about sports? Do you invest your time in other pursuits? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this resonated with you, hit like and subscribe for more psychological insights on how we navigate the world.